Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecca. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook Live and YouTube. So if you are watching from either of those platforms, please feel free to send us a comment or a question in the comment section below. Hopefully I'll be able to answer anything as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can answer anything individually for you. But let's get started here with a look at our weather headlines. What are we tracking here for the next several days? Well, you may have noticed it's pretty warm out there. We gradually warmed up throughout the work week. If you remember, we started out in the 30s on Monday with some snow showers, and now we've topped out in the mid-70s this afternoon, and we'll see 70-degree temperatures once again for tomorrow, but it's short-lived. We do see a return of our more normal November temperatures once we get into Sunday and through much of next week, but we're also tracking out a little bit more of an unsettled weather pattern through next week as well. It looks like multiple areas of low pressure moving through next week. That'll bring us multiple chances for rain. But again, recapping earlier today, very warm out there. Temperatures ranged mostly in the mid-70s, 75 in Evansville and Bowling Green. Cooler to the north up towards Indianapolis, but still very warm just to our west and to our south. 79 there in St. Louis, 78 up towards Springfield. And comparing that to what's normal for this time of year, that is around 18 degrees above where we should be here in Evansville. Same thing up towards Indianapolis and Paducah, but over 20 degrees warmer than where they should be in parts of Iowa, Illinois, and even into Missouri. So very, very warm air mass this late in the season. But again, it is going to be short-lived. We'll have another day or so with this warmth before we get plunged back into reality. But even outside right now, it's fairly mild. Those game time temps for Friday Night Football, very comfortable. You probably didn't even need a sweatshirt. 59 degrees now in Evansville. The rest of the tri-state also sitting in the upper 50s to lower 60s at this time. So a pleasant evening. We're staying dry out there. We have high pressure off to our south, so we're not concerned with any rain tonight. But we will notice is while we're clear out there right now, once we get past midnight, I do think we're going to see an increase in that cloud cover ahead of that front that's going to be moving through tomorrow evening. So I'll break down the details of that. But looking at our forecast overnight, we'll see temperatures dropping down into the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees for our overnight lows. And with partly cloudy skies tomorrow, we'll still warm up to the mid-70s, but really it's going to be because of those southwesterly winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour, ushering in that warmer air mass. And then I did mention we're tracking out that chance for a stray shower, especially as that front passes overhead Saturday evening. But I do think a lot of us are probably just going to stay dry as well. But here's the timing of everything. Overnight tonight, we'll start to see some clouds begin to move back in, but really they thicken up once we get into early tomorrow morning. And then once we get through the afternoon, maybe the clouds break up a little bit, becoming partly cloudy again. Right ahead of that front, we'll see an increase in the clouds once more, and then there's that chance for maybe a sprinkle or an isolated shower as it passes overhead. But it looks like the best chances for that are just outside of the tri-state through very far southern western Kentucky and out towards eastern Kentucky as well. So again, I'm thinking most of us stay dry there, and then once that front clears, we'll have high pressure build in, and that's going to keep things nice and sunny, but cooler for the second half of the weekend. Check it out, Sunday, 58 degrees. So we're going from 76 to 58. So it's a fairly strong cold front moving through, but we're lucky that it's going to stay on the drier side. But it's not going to stay dry forever either. We do have increased chances for rain through next week, and our precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center also showing above average amounts of rainfall likely through that time frame. So looking at our chances here for the next 7 days, I think we'll stay dry mostly through tomorrow and on Sunday. The first half of the day on Monday, I think will be plenty of sunshine, but we will notice an increase in cloud cover through the afternoon and eventually some showers beginning to work their way in overnight Monday into Tuesday morning and then clearing out Tuesday afternoon. And then it looks like another system is going to move in Wednesday evening that will linger through Friday. So I think that second system, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit more impactful for everyone. But the first system looks to be just a little bit weaker, but still going to provide some rain showers. So again, mostly that's going to be overnight Monday into Tuesday morning, with most of this kind of clearing out of here through Tuesday afternoon. But right on the heels of that first system, we're going to have another warm front lift up from the south Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. We'll see more showers, perhaps perhaps a few thunderstorms spreading in from the south, and it looks like we'll just see plain old rain, just a widespread rainy day once we get into Friday, especially through the late morning and afternoon. And then once we clear out of that for Friday night, we'll have high pressure build back in through next weekend briefly before maybe another system moves in overnight Sunday and into Monday of the following week. But again, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. We're already looking a week out in advance. But looking at our hazards outlook through the next 8 to 14 days, we are highlighted here for the potential for some heavy rainfall and a little bit harder to see. But right behind that green color, we do have this beige color that you can see better off to the east coast. It does include the tri-state. That is going to be for the potential for some stronger or gustier winds as well. So maybe even seeing a wind advisory by next week if these storms continue to show that they're going to be on the stronger side, or these low pressure systems that are moving through. But now in terms of rainfall, so we are outlooked for heavy rain, but how much is going to fall? Well, it's kind of a difference between the two models, and it's kind of a big difference. Looking at the European rainfall amounts, it's showing a lot more, almost 2, maybe even 3 inches of rain widespread across the tri-state, whereas the GFS only has us getting perhaps close to 1 inch in most locations, maybe a few spots farther to our south picking up closer to 2 inches. But yeah, there's kind of a big difference between QPF amounts at the current moment. So depending on how these storms, low pressure systems trend, if they trend a little bit wetter, we'll be keeping an eye out for a potential flooding threat. But if they do continue to trend a little bit less wet or a little bit less rainy, then obviously that wouldn't become much of an issue at all. It'd just be your typical rainy day here in the tri-state. But that is all I've got here for the forecast. So let me go ahead and round it up with a look at our 7-day, giving you a summary here. Again, it's going to be a very warm day tomorrow, still topping out in the mid-70s with partly cloudy skies. That cold front will move in for Saturday evening. We'll stay dry though. I think most of us will escape without a hitch. However, you can't completely rule out that chance for a sprinkle. That's why we have that 20% there on Saturday. But we'll have high pressure build in nicely behind that front. However, it's going to be cool for Sunday, topping out only in the upper 50s, but with plenty of sunshine. It looks like temperatures stay in the upper 50s to low 60s through much of next week. And then again, there's that unsettled weather pattern. 2 storm systems expected to move through at this time, one Monday night into Tuesday, and then another system Wednesday through Friday, bringing us more widespread rainfall. So that is all I've got for the forecast. I'm going to go ahead and check out the comments real quick to see if you guys had any questions for me. I'd love to answer them for you. Looks like Suzanne, she's saying good evening to you. Same thing from Cheyenne and Darlene, good evening to both. Zach saying if severe weather does happen, likely to be a marginal risk. Thank you for that. Yeah, we're not really expecting severe weather at this point in time, but of course, you know, with several days away, a lot can change. We'll continue to update you if we see anything a little bit more suspicious, but I do think, especially towards the second half of next week, we're looking at more of a heavy rain event, potentially maybe seeing some areas of flooding, not too much in the way of severe storms though. But again, it is about a week away, so a lot can change between now and then, and if it does, of course, we'll let you know, but nothing to concern yourselves over too much right now. But that is all I've got here for the forecast. I'm going to hop off the live stream, and I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Until then, everybody, stay safe and have a great rest of your night.